Test 1, 2.
Button to turn it on. That's on.
October.
We're going to get started in about a minute. If we can ask everyone to just sit down, please. Welcome to the inaugural council meeting for the 2022-2026 council. It's an honor for me tonight as city clerk to welcome all of you here, and I'm going to turn it over at this time to Sahuas Yoglati to bring opening remarks. Thank you.
Yongo Chili. Saguli Sagregu, Shuhusha Lady gets a Gualini one only the Agni Mahanjo. I just want to take a few moments before we get started tonight to acknowledge exactly what it is that's happening here tonight. A journey started for some of these people a while back, and tonight is the culmination of that journey. We're all on that same journey. We all have taken the time and the effort to be part of this, to be part of this room, to be part of this building, to be part of this city. But most importantly, we're part of this place. And when I'm talking about this place, I'm not talking about the buildings. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about where we come from, that natural world. My name is Brian Hill. I am the Indigenous Initiative Advocate for the City of Waterloo. Part of my role here is to help explain the Indigenous view of our world. And specifically, how I do that is by utilizing the teachings of my people. My people are the Haudenosaunee people. Oneida of the Thames First Nation is where I come from. And that's where I get the majority of my teachings. But I also get some teachings from the Anishinaabe people too as well, and the Lenape people. So the people that I work with, the people that I associate with, I've had the opportunity to learn a lot of different things. And one of the first things that I was taught was to always acknowledge and give thanks for those things that brought us here, for those things that carried us to this point to where we are today. And by that, I don't mean our vehicles. I don't mean the buses, the trains, or whatever mode of transportation that brought you here. I'm talking about those things in our natural world, those ones that carry us, the ones that give us life, the ones that sustain us. And in that, we start by honoring and acknowledging our Mother Earth, who give us a place to live, to be part of this thing we call creation. And all those gifts that she provides to us. The water that flows through her lifeblood, our lifeblood. That water, we acknowledge and give thanks for that. We give thanks for that water that nourishes us, that carries us, that supports us, and that gives us life. And we honor and acknowledge all those things that grow out of our mother. Those grasses, those plants, those ones that nourish and provide us, sustain us. But most importantly, those medicine plants, those ones that grow, those ones that are specifically designed to help us in our daily lives, to help carry us, to help nourish us, and to help heal us as well. Because that's part of what we're on, we're on that healing journey. Each and every one of us in our own different way. And then we look farther up to those trees that grow, those ones that provide us shade, that give us shelter, that provide those different things that we need to sustain our lives as well. We utilize the bark of those trees. We utilize the wood that comes from those trees. But we also utilize those roots that are deep within our mother, to help sustain us and guide us and give us that nourishment, give us that energy as well. Then we look to that animal life that is so plentiful out there. But we need to take time to acknowledge that, to see that, and to acknowledge what their role is in our lives as well. Again, to feed us, to clothe us, to nourish us. But we also need to take that time, take that couple of minutes out of your day, just to sit, breathe, and drink it in. I know that in our busy lives, we don't take that time. But sometimes when we slow down and we stop and we actually look, we see those things. We acknowledge them. because they're a part of our lives as well. And we look to that bird life, those ones that carry those messages across Turtle Island, the place that's called Canada. We call it Turtle Island. That's our mother. It carries those messages, but it also carries those seeds of those plants that they eat, those ones that they consume, and they fly a route, and they bring those seeds to different parts of Turtle Island, so that they may again enjoy those fruits of that as well, as much as we do. And we look into the sky and we watch our elder brother make that path every day from east to west, comes across that sky to give us that light, to give us that heat, to give us that support, that love and understanding in that. But also that opposite spirit, our grandmother Moon, the one that guides us at nighttime, that shows us the way, that gives us that light, but also is a big part of the women in our lives, that supports them and guides them and helps them as well in their cycle, in their time. That's what our grandmother does. But she also takes part with that water I spoke of. She monitors us and watches that, ensure that it does what it needs to do. So we honor that. We honor all those things. And we look higher into the sky and we see those stars up there. Those stars are our ancestors, our grandmothers and grandfathers that have gone before us. Those ones that watch over us. The ones that guide us before we come to this world, come to the physical world. We're in that spirit world, and that's where we get our teachings from. We carry them from that world. We bring them here with us. We carry them. Each and every one of you carries those teachings, carries those understandings within yourself. But it's up to us to find them, to bring them out, to carry them, and to share them. Because they're not meant to be owned, they're meant to be shared. Excuse me. And we acknowledge and give thanks for those grandmothers and grandfathers who have gone on before us, those generations that are watching us, even now as we sit here tonight. But most importantly, we give thanks to the Creator, the one that has blessed us and given all these things that has brought us to where we are. The Creator watches over us as best He can. You know, where I come from, I'm Haudenosaunee. I'm Oneida of the Thames First Nation. I'm Bear Clan. I call that Creator, I call Him Sogwayantizo. That's the name I give to my Creator. Each and every one of you has that Creator within yourself as well. You may go by a different name, but you need to honor and acknowledge that as well. So tonight, as we begin this journey of these people sitting up here tonight, we honor that. We honor those things that have brought them to this point. You know, yes, there was a long few months where they were out knocking on doors. They were talking to people and talking to people and talking to people. It was a struggle, but they've made it to this point. And tonight we're honoring that. We're honoring the first steps into this room, honoring those things that they carry. And also to remind them that when they sit here, they sit as one. They sit as one group of one mind and one purpose. But also to remind them that at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all human beings. We all have these things that we need to honor and acknowledge and take care of. And I ask them that as well, to remember that. To remember that we're all here together. We may sound different, we may look different, we may, there's so many differences. But in that, we have to unite as a people, as human beings, in order to ensure that those ones that are coming behind us, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, those ones who aren't even in this world yet, we have to ensure that we leave this place just as we found it, just as special as it is now. It needs to remain that special 7 generations ahead. So part of what we're doing here as well is ensuring that's going to happen. to the best of our ability. So I just want to acknowledge that tonight for these fine people that are sitting up here tonight. Just to remind you, to acknowledge that even though times may get tough in the future, as a group, you come together and do the best you can in that. So I'm going to take a few minutes now. I have my medicines up there, and I'm going to offer them to these people sitting up here. A cleansing, a smudge. I have some sage that I'm going to burn, and I'm going to wash them. I'm going to wash them with that smoke, that cleansing smoke, to remind them, to bring them together. As you're sitting here, bring their minds together as one. Because when we talk about acknowledging things, that is what we're doing. We're bringing our minds together. So just bear with me for another few minutes, and then we'll carry on with the schedule. Thank you. Yonko. Just ask that you don't take no pictures at this time. Thank you. So when I come to you, I'm going to ask you to wash it over your head, wash it over your ears, your eyes, your mouth, and in your heart and your spirit, because that's where your spirit lives. That's where your spirit resides. If you choose not to participate, that's fine. Just let me know, and I'll go on to the next one. So I'll start and go on this way. Okay? Don't go for allowing us to take this time to do this. It's very important to us to be part of this tonight, to be part of this celebration. And the next part of the celebration is the welcoming song. My young nephews over here are going to provide us with a welcoming song in order to start this journey on. So I'm going to invite them to share that with us.
Yoko. I'll now introduce your 2022 and 2026 council. Starting with Mayor Dorothy McKay, Ward 1 Councillor Sandra Hanmer, Ward 2 Councillor Royce Bodley, Ward 3 Councillor Hans Roach, Ward 4 Councillor Diane Freeman, Ward 5 Councillor Jen Vasic, Ward 6 Councillor Mary Lou Rowe, and Ward 7 Councillor Julie Wright. At this time, council as a whole is going to recite their declarations of office for you and their intentions to serve. And then after that, I will turn the chair over to Mayor McKay. So if you would like to start with me, I'm going to turn on a few mics. Fortunately, we can't have all at the same time. So I'll turn mine off.
I, Dorothy McCabe, join me. I, Dorothy McCabe, having been elected or appointed to the office of Councillor Ward in the municipality of the city of Waterloo, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I'd like to invite Sowes Gulate and the Eagle Flight Drum Group to proceed with the honor song. Thank you.
One part that we're going to do now is actually meant for these people sitting here tonight. The song is going to honor those words that they just spoke. It's going to honor the places where they sit at this moment. So during this song, I'm asking everybody to pray, to stay, to actually honor these people.
Thank you very much, Suhu Wes Yogolati and the Eagle Flight Drum Group for honoring us with your presence and your invocation, and for reminding us of our connectedness to each other and to the land. Thank you very much. And welcome to everyone. Especially like to give a warm welcome to other elected officials who have joined us tonight, including Senator Marty Deakins, Regional Councillors Jim Erb and Chantal Hunink, and former mayors, of course, Joan McKinnon and Dave Jaworski. Thank you for joining us tonight. So every election is a privilege. When there are so many places in the world struggling with facing daily struggles, many of which have no ability to engage in the democratic process, I am so thankful to live here. I have participated without fear in discussions about ideas and perspectives about what's next for the city of Waterloo. I grew up on a farm outside of Arthur with the people sitting mostly in the front row there. And like so many people who live in Waterloo, I moved here to attend university, Wilfrid Laurier. And throughout my many years in Waterloo and Waterloo region, I've had the honor of meeting a tremendous amount of amazing people, passionate people, in both my professional and my volunteer capacities. And we live in a special place. We live in a city that's big enough to provide a wide range of opportunities for people from all kinds of backgrounds. A city that because of the big ideas people had many, many years ago, which today has a thriving and an imaginative arts and culture sector. It has numerous faith groups. We have globally recognized think tanks. We have 2 world-class universities and a college. We have a Nobel Prize recipient as one of our residents. We have diverse employment opportunities in the hospitality sector, manufacturing, and our technology sector. And these sectors rival much larger cities in Ontario, in Canada, and around the world. And we also have innovative nonprofit and community organizations that provide therapy, housing, care, and solutions to improve people's lives. And yet, while Waterloo is a city that is big enough to provide these opportunities, it is also a city that is interconnected and collaborative. And I often refer to Waterloo as a big, small town. Big enough to do amazing things, but small enough to stay connected. And there are many things to love about our city. And one of the main things that I love about Waterloo, and why I ran for the honor of becoming its next mayor, is because people and organizations in Waterloo have a history of looking towards the future, of striving to see what's next, and working collaboratively to get there. And as mayor and as a regional councillor, I'm excited. I am more than excited to have the opportunity over the next 4 years, and who knows, maybe the next 4 years after that, to work with my new council colleagues, city staff who have chosen public service as their career, to work with neighboring municipalities, including the region of Waterloo, and to work with our community at large, and collectively to lead Waterloo towards a better future for all. So I know I'm painting a rosy picture of our community, and to be clear, we know that as good as life is for many people in Waterloo, life today is also challenging, difficult, and precarious for far too many in our community. And we must work with urgency to make their lives better. There are many challenges that council, staff, and our communities face that demand immediate attention, and this will not be easy. And we must be prepared collectively to prioritize as we look to a coming period of economic uncertainty. We face global challenges, economic uncertainty, and affordability challenges. And there are far too many in our community who are unhoused and homeless and who need supportive and affordable housing. The need is urgent, and winter is once again upon us. And in addition to this, we face the ongoing realities of climate change. And municipalities must continue to take a leadership role in finding and enacting solutions. And I believe addressing them requires a diversity of perspectives, information, and ultimately action. action from council, from staff, from people with lived experiences, and from residents at large. We need big ideas and we need collaboration. We need to take risks, and we must not let perfection be the enemy of the good. This is especially important regarding encampments, the unhoused and the precariously housed in Waterloo. Yes, in the city of Waterloo, as well as in Kitchener and Cambridge. And while it's never going to be fast enough, as the new mayor, I want our community to know that council, city staff, staff at the region of Waterloo, and along with local organizations and community partners are working hard and working collaboratively to find solutions to get people the support and the housing they need. And no one organization can do this alone. We know that, and we know we also need help from our provincial and federal counterparts. But one important step that we're taking on the broader long-term issue of housing affordability is city staff and the community are actively working together to prepare a Made in Waterloo affordable housing strategy. And while details are being finalized, they have identified approximately 30 actions that will help provide a strategic approach towards addressing housing affordability over the next decade. And I know I can speak for all the 8 individuals sitting around the horseshoe with me tonight who all just came off of the campaign trail when I say that we heard loudly and clearly from our community that housing affordability, supportive housing, and attainable housing are key issues for our city. In Waterloo and across our region, we need every type of housing built. We need infill, low-rise, mid-rise, townhouses, duplexes, triplexes, condos, and especially we need 2- and 3-bedroom rental housing options. Our community needs accessible, affordable housing for young people, for students, for seniors, for people struggling with mental health and addictions, and for people with disabilities. In short, for people of every age, stage, and ability. And while addressing this very big challenge, I think we also have an opportunity. And one of the key reasons that I ran for elected office is because of a shared deep concern about climate change. And to borrow a quote from the mayor of Oakville, when it comes to environmental advocacy, every victory is temporary and every defeat is permanent. The city of Waterloo are leaders in building a sustainable community. And there's much that the city has done and much more that we can do to drive down carbon emissions and to increase the sustainability of our city. But we know that buildings are the second biggest source of carbon emissions. And we have the opportunity now, while building new housing that we need so urgently, to use green development standards to reduce carbon emissions and to build 15-minute walkable, connected communities which will increase our sustainability. And we will work closely with our local partners, local municipalities, the Ontario Big City Mayors Caucus, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and of course our friends at the provincial and federal governments to make this happen. And I am committed to working with my council colleagues, city staff, and organizations like Sustainable Waterloo Region, REAP Green Solutions, Climate Action Waterloo Region, and others to view decisions that we'll make and actions we will take through the climate change perspective. As well, for those of you who followed my campaign, you'll know that I talked often about Waterloo's amazing potential and the need to harness and utilize that potential to build a better future for all of Waterloo's residents. And one of the commitments I made was to create a Team Waterloo Mayor's Task Force. The task force will be cross-sectional and intersectional, and people around that table will engage in diverse community dialogue with the goal of building community connectedness and capacity. It will increase council and my understanding of how best to use the knowledge and expertise within our community to help identify Waterloo's next big idea and to tackle and solve the challenges that we face. And this is a process that I envision involving council and staff as well as our broader community. So we're still working out the details. I'm only a week into the job, but it is my hope that this can be connected to our upcoming strategic planning process. So stay tuned. And of course, I need to add a few words of thanks. To our outgoing Mayor, Dave Jaworski. Do we still call you Mayor Dave Jaworski? to Dave Jaworski. Public service and public leadership is a calling. Thank you for answering that call and for giving our city and our region 8 years of dedicated community leadership. To former members of council who are also served diligently and with great dedication, Angela Veith, Jeff Henry, Tanil Boniger, our community and our new council and I owe you all a debt of gratitude. So thank you very much. And I know that our new council will, and myself in particular, will look to you for your guidance, your mentorship, and your advice. So you may think you have left the council chambers, but you haven't really left the council chambers. And to the dedicated public service staff who work with us. As a former municipal staff person myself, I certainly understand that the public service sector staff do their work very much in the public eye. And you chose, I believe, to work in this sector because of your expertise and because of your passion for public service. And we know that over the past 2 to 3 years, working through COVID was very challenging. And we know that those challenges aren't over. But led by CAO Tim Anderson, each of you stepped up. You learned new ways to serve, and you took advantage of opportunities that presented themselves. And you deserve our community's thanks. And I just also want to take just a minute to ask people to think about how the very good services that municipal staff provide our community and how very good our staff are at delivering programs and services to our residents every day. Every single day on a very limited budget, people's lives are touched by municipal services from before the moment your feet hit the floor, from clean drinking water, electricity distribution, recreation programs, community safety, active transportation options, road maintenance, snow clearing, and that's just to name a few. So on behalf of myself and the new council and generally the community, I say thank you very much, particularly for your service over the last couple of years. And on behalf of council, I want to ask you to continue to bring your expertise, your skills, bring your passion for public service to help us serve together. And please don't shy away. I look forward to debates that we'll have, to idea sharing, and to disagreements that we'll have. And I think we could all agree that in this time, in this age, disagreeing without being disagreeable is really how we will learn and how we will all increase our understanding of issues and how we will ultimately serve our community the best. So we're counting on you, staff, and thank you for that. And just a quick word about Tim. In our short time together, I can see that you are a leader who listens, who is strong enough to let others lead and to use their expertise while providing guidance and direction. So I very much look forward to working closely with you. And I may have to take you up on the idea of doing a council team building out on your farm. Tim and I have a shared farming background. And maybe one of those exercises will be picking stones or something like that. That was always a childhood favorite. And to council, Henry Ford once said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. In our short time together, I see that we're a council of individuals with strengths that will complement each other. I believe together we will be stronger than the sum of our parts. And I know and I hope there will be issues that we disagree on. I'm counting on that. And I hope that going forward from this day for the next 4 years that you'll remember the excitement and the hope that you feel tonight and that you will carry that with you throughout our term in office. So finally, I saved the crying part to the end. To my family and to friends who encouraged me to go on this political journey, thank you. I know you're watching, or at least you told me you were going to watch, from various places across the city and across the province. And I'd like to say a very long distance hello to my husband's family in Poland and Lithuania and to friends of ours in Holland who also said they'd be watching. So thank you for tuning in. And I'd like to give a very special thank you to my husband, Yannick, and to our daughters for allowing me to take this time to make a difference in our community. I know it's not easy, And I know it's only going to get busier, but do know that I love you and that I couldn't do this without your support. So thank you. To my first family, thank you for being here tonight. We all miss our dad very much every day, but I know he would be really proud that both my brother, who isn't here yet, that both him and I are both serving on elected officials in different municipalities, as our dad did many, many years ago. So I hope he's proud of us for continuing that tradition. And to Mom, you taught us all how to serve our communities. You taught us to serve each other and to do so without judgment, but rather to serve with love and with respect for ourselves and respect for others. And nothing could have prepared me more, I think, than that for this role that I step into tonight. So thank you very much. So I believe, there, I got through that without crying. That wasn't so bad. I believe that building a better future is the key role that government plays. So council, staff, community, there's no time to wait. I look forward to working with all of you, and I believe that together we will continue to build a better future for every one of us in Waterloo. So thank you very much. Thank you. So now we get the chance to hear from our council colleagues, and we'll go in numerical order, which brings us over to Councillor for Ward 1, Sandra Hamner.
Thank you very much, Mayor McCabe. A tough act to follow, let me tell you. Mayor McCabe, council colleagues, city staff, and citizens of Waterloo. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I'm proud to be serving the residents of Ward 1 and the citizens of Waterloo for a second term. Thank you for your support and trust. In all matters, family is everything. They are our greatest supporters and critics all at the same time. I'm so very grateful and appreciative of the endless support and encouragement unconditionally given by my husband Greg, our daughters Caitlin, Sarah, Marin, and Paige, their partners Robert, Terry, Matt, and our new granddaughter Maeve. Thank you for believing in me. A special thank you to my campaign team, such an incredible group of family and friends who spent countless hours walking Ward 1 neighborhoods while I had COVID and could not be walking the neighborhoods. I really appreciate everything that you have done. Thank you so very much. During the campaign, I heard lots of stories, suggestions, concerns, and ideas, all focused on keeping our city of Waterloo a great place to live and work. Smart city growth, housing that is affordable, reaching our climate action goals, active transportation, fiscal responsibility, and community connections were themes from many conversations. We are a growing city. Smart city growth will only be successful when we consider the needs of all residents, reflect the uniqueness of our neighborhoods, integrate our transportation systems, active and motorized, encourage business growth, and continue to foster the spirit of community. Tied to the smart growth is the importance of promoting green spaces, parks and recreational facilities, as well as arts, culture, and other kinds of activities. A tall order, Council, for sure. As I look around the Council table, I know that we will all work hard to ensure that the decisions we make reflect the needs and priorities of the citizens of Waterloo. Our Waterloo did not happen by accident, as we heard. Thoughtful, hardworking, committed, imaginative people working together have made Waterloo what it is today. As your new council, we have the opportunity and the responsibility to learn from the past accomplishments and, more importantly, build on the lessons learned to shape our future. Collective leadership must be how we do business over the next term. In many ways, we already are striving to achieve collective leadership. We all recognize that lasting success is not possible without diverse perspectives and contributions. As councillors, we each represent particular areas of the city, In order for us to have the greatest impact, though, and make the biggest difference for the citizens of Waterloo, we must work hard together to see the bigger picture, actively listen to diverse perspectives and voices, and then zero in on the details that affect our local areas and have the biggest impact. As a city, we are aiming to be more diverse, equitable, and inclusive, and I believe we do see the value in collective leadership. As citizens of Waterloo, it is our responsibility to share ideas, concerns, and suggestions in constructive, respectful, and meaningful ways. Over the next 4 years, I'm looking forward to working collaboratively with you, Mayor McCabe, fellow councilors, city staff, and citizens to address the issues before us, foster further innovation, creativity, and the entrepreneurial spirit that defines our city of Waterloo. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hanmer. And next we will have Ward 2, Councillor Royce Baudelet. Learning.
Nailed it, thank you. Through you, Mayor McCabe. When I sat in this chair for the first time 4 years ago, I talked about how surreal it was that I was privileged enough to receive the opportunity to represent Ward 2. I didn't really have a team of volunteers. I had dedicated friends and family who helped out when they could, but I had no expectations that I would win. I did work extremely hard. I listened to people. I engaged. I vowed to communicate in an honest, open, and transparent manner, especially when we would inevitably disagree. And when the residents of Ward 2 rewarded that hard work with the opportunity to sit in this chair, I was humbled. And over the past 4 years, I have had the incredible opportunity to connect with countless residents in Ward 2, dedicated volunteers at our community skating rinks, visionary leaders on our community gardens teams and on our neighborhood associations, strong advocates on our parent councils, and concerned community members, all who have a common goal of making Ward 2 a better place to live, and I have been inspired by their passion. I continue to find it surreal that I get to sit here in this chair, and I remain humbled by the opportunity, and I am still inspired by the passion of my friends and neighbors in Ward 2. In the past 4 years, I have met with driven community advocates. These are folks in our communities that are not only doing the hard work, but advocating for the change that we need in our region. Some of these folks belong to vital advocacy groups in our community, groups like Land Back Camp and like 50 by 30. Some of these folks are part of organizations like the Working Center and Spectrum. Some of these folks belong to our advisory committees of council, and some are passionate individuals, like my young friend Dowd, who I would never have met outside of this role, but who it has been a pleasure to meet and work with him from my first year on council when he was in grade 7 to now when he was appointed to sit on the Ontario Youth Environment Council. I vow to continue engaging with these people and to continue to support their work wherever I can. I remember in my first campaign, the initial conversations that I had with community leaders, people like Councillor Freeman, former Councillor Beath and former Mayor Jaworski, people like future Councillor Vasic and Councillor Hanmer. And I frankly remember thinking that these people were rock stars. I would find myself questioning how I belonged amongst this group of leaders. And I continue to find myself in meetings with these individuals asking myself that same question. I guess the imposter syndrome is real, but I will lean into the imposter syndrome, knowing that your example has motivated me to become a better leader and a better person. I am immensely proud of Council's accomplishments over the past 4 years. I want to welcome and congratulate my incoming colleagues. I wish you all the greatest individual successes and promise to carry on the tradition of the previous council, a collaborative spirit, a respectful discourse, to actively listen, and to do my best to support you in your journey as my colleagues have done and no doubt will continue to do for me. And I just want to wrap up with some thank yous. So to the residents of Ward 2, I thank you so much for the validation of the hard work I've put in over the past term. I am truly honored and grateful to continue representing you. To my opponent, Khaled Barbash, I thank you for running a spirited and respectful campaign, and I wish you all the best and know that you will continue to do great things in our community. To my friends and family, my parents, my sisters, my in-laws, I cannot thank you enough for your support, and I am so sorry that you will have to continue to listen to me rant about things you very likely don't care about. This is the crying part. To my children, Cashton and Oriana, you both continue to inspire me in ways you likely will never fully comprehend. I am so excited for your future and the amazing things that I know both of you will do. And I'm sorry that you'll continue to have to be careful about the things you post on TikTok. To my wife, Jen, this is a team sport. As you know, I am a paradox, stridently independent yet hopelessly reliant. I do not want to drag you into the complexity or the toxicity or the difficult decision-making, and yet I must. You see the passion and the toll that it takes more than anyone. We have ranted together, and you have supported me on the nights where I lost sleep. You have celebrated victories with me, and this has been true ever since I met you, but more than ever in the past 4 years. And I cannot imagine going through this journey or any other without you. And I just thank you, and I love you.
That's lovely. I didn't hear my kids say that to me, but maybe that's because I make them call me your worship now. I don't know. Okay, thank you very much, Councillor. And we've done the west side of our city. Now we'll go across up to the north part of our city and welcome new Councillor, Ward 3 Councillor Hans Roach.
Thank you, Mayor McCabe. First, I'd like to acknowledge my family, friends, and guests. Without you, I wouldn't be here, and everyone else here tonight. I'm truly humbled by my neighbors in Ward 3 for putting their confidence in me. I'm also very proud of the electorate of Waterloo who have given us this diverse group of councillors to represent the people. I'm looking forward to learning from and learning with our new mayor and councillors. I want to thank our former mayor, Dave Jaworski, for his service, and a very special thank you to Angela Veith for her guidance and past leadership in Ward 3. Thank you, Ange. I have big shoes to fill. I want to thank the previous council and staff for their constant and unwavering dedication to Waterloo and for their work facilitating this smooth transition. But now it's time to get to the work of the people. I pledge here today to put respect at the center of my approach, to inform residents and council members of my intentions and to listen to your ideas before making any decisions. My goal is to be informed, to collaborate, and to help build consensus on the growing issues that we face in the city. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We may have all come over on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Our differences will not define us. Our strength lies in our differences, and we will celebrate that." It's up to all of us to serve as examples for our community, to strive and to foster an environment of openness and transparency with a goal of building trust across the city. I will do my best to live by these words. Is Waterloo perfect? No, but it's a great city. There is nothing wrong with Waterloo that cannot be cured by what is right with Waterloo. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. And now we'll go over to the northeast side of our city and over to Ward 4 Councillor Diane Freeman.
Thank you, through you, Mayor McCabe. I was raised in Woodstock, Ontario, on Treaty Number 29, lands that were part of the Huron Tract purchase. In 1986, I moved to Treaty 4 lands, or the Haldeman Tract, where I've chosen to stay and raise a family. Thank you to the citizens of Ward 4. They have once again shown their confidence in me, and I'm humbled to have their support. This job is about serving the community, and it is with this heart of service that I look forward to working together with my council colleagues. As a part-time 24/7 counselor, I could never serve this community without the continued love and patience offered willingly by my husband Peter and my children Adam, Scott, and his fiancée Alessandra. I'm also thankful for my parents, Fred and Betty Freeman, who taught my brothers Jim, Bill, and I that volunteering is truly the rent we pay for the privilege of living in such a wonderful country as Canada. Lives are full of many firsts. First birthdays, anniversaries, Mother's and Father's Days. And this is my first inauguration without my parents, who walking on this earth. And it's hard. It's hard to be here for my 5th term, knowing that Mom and Dad aren't just a phone call away. I was loved, and I remember them today in my heart, and I'm thankful for all the things they taught me. I am grateful for the many communities, including friends, work, and city, that supported me through challenging times, such as when my parents passed away. Kindness like this changes the dynamic of working relationships into friendships. Democracy is about people, and the people who have served with me since 2006 have taught me so much and challenged me to be a better decision maker and a better person. Knowledge can be empowering when shared, and isn't that what we want for our community? I look forward to learning from all of you as we journey together through these next 4 years. I know that we are all aware of the changing nature of politics, so I feel strongly that we, as local politicians who are very much connected to our communities, speak out for those who do not have a voice. We have a responsibility to build consensus and a positive way forward. We need to be strong for each other as we navigate the new terms and conditions of this provincial government. We need to fight against the divisiveness of politics. Waterloo has got it right for so many years. It is worth fighting for. I remain hopeful that if we put the people of Waterloo first in an inclusive manner, we will hold the line on democracy. There is a desperate need for compassion these days, and my intention is to lead with love and knowledge. We will be challenged as a council like never before to do more with less. We will need to be courageous and support the values that bring all of us to this table. I want to ensure that the investments we make in our community impact the people we serve and make a difference. At every turn, we will need to explore the impact on our most vulnerable in our communities and make sure that their voices are respected and that they are seen as the neighbors that they are. I have every confidence that if we work together, we can prioritize all voices. If we do so, we will be stronger and more resilient. In addition, climate change is our collective challenge as a society. I know we all care about looking at policy and legislation through this lens. Council, we are not alone on this journey because we are well supported by staff who care deeply about this work, and I believe, together with staff, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Freeman. And now we will turn our attention to Ward 5, Councillor Jen Bassick.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor McCabe. Welcome, everybody. It's a time of many transitions for me. a new council this term, or this year, a 40th birthday next year, among others. And these transitions have me thinking about my purpose. I've learned that having a purpose is a solid public health intervention. It decreases risks of heart attacks, Alzheimer's, among many other good things. So there's even more motivation to figure out what my purpose might be beyond a potentially looming midlife crisis. Through reflection, I'm starting to come to some understanding of what my purpose might be, which is to make easier times. This presumes that times are hard, and are they ever? Rents are through the roof. We're in a climate emergency coming close to the point of no return. Reported hate crimes are on the rise locally, and today I'm also thinking of the 5 who were killed and 25 who were injured at a shooting at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado over the weekend. We're entering winter, which means it's going to be tougher for many people to walk or wheel around town, and of course the pandemic and its ongoing impacts. My intention isn't to become mired in doom. These problems, though, ground me in my work here on council, and yes, they ground me in my work here on council because we can't hope for and then make easier times unless we illuminate that which is hard. I believe social change is both possible and can be purposeful so long as it's grounded in a full understanding of the historical and present-day contexts we find ourselves shaped by. This idea that critique and possibility are intertwined isn't one I've come up with. Some have called it critical hope. Bettina Love, a Black queer woman, a scholar, an educator, refers to it as freedom dreaming. She explains freedom dreams are, quote, grounded in a critique of injustice. These dreams are not whimsical, unattainable daydreams. They are critical and imaginative dreams of collective resistance. A collective resistance. The term resistance gets a bad rap, but it simply means refusing to accept something. In order to make easier times, we will, in the months to come, with residents, diverse communities, staff, and council, be determining what we refuse to accept. Put otherwise, what will our collective purpose be, and how will we attempt to achieve that? I'm so eager to find out, or in the terms of past me, very jazzed. Thank you to all those who have helped give me another chance to do so. Those who voted for me, helped on my campaign, some of you are here, thank you. Those who put themselves out there and also ran in Ward 5. City staff, and the previous council who have taught me so much, and of course my family, who I keep forgetting to thank while everyone else thanks their families, who do really have to put up with the brunt of everything that is tough about public service. Congratulations to all my fellow colleagues, new and returning. Tonight we celebrate. Tomorrow we get to start a likely still challenging, though hopefully less pandemic-y, 4 years of serving Waterloo.
Thank you, Councillor Vasic. And now we will go to new Councillor Ward 6, Mary Lou Rowe, who holds a special place in my heart because she's my ward councillor.
Thank you so much, Mayor McCabe. I'm so honored to be here with you, my fellow councillors, and city staff as we begin a new term at City Hall. I ran for City Council because I care deeply about our community. I care about people and how they experience their lives in Waterloo and the region. I want people to feel included and visible in our city and feel a sense of belonging. I look forward to working with all of you to continue building an incredible city where everyone can belong, contribute, and thrive. I want to thank the voters of Ward 6 and my neighborhood of Maple Hills for your support and faith in me. It is my privilege to represent you on council and work hard on behalf of the citizens of Waterloo. A special thank you goes out to my campaign team and all the volunteers who believed in me and contributed their time, talents, energy, ideas, and support throughout this entire process. I did not know what to expect as I started down this road, and you all helped me find my way, and I am so grateful to each of you. One of the reasons I believe so strongly in the power of community is the neighborhood I live in. I am fortunate to have good friends and neighbors who are there when I need them, and I needed them during the campaign. I came down with COVID 2 weeks before Election Day, and my neighbors and friends stepped in to ensure the campaign continued full steam ahead despite me being on the sidelines. Thank you. I want to give a special mention to my canvassing team. I had a crew of next generation voters, including my 2 sons and a slew of their friends, who canvassed with me throughout the campaign and helped me connect with so many residents in Waterloo. I am so proud of all of you, and I couldn't have done it without you. And last but never least, I thank my husband Will and our sons, Liam and Quinn, for your support and belief in me. For us, this is a family celebration. I don't usually cry. Together, we made a decision that would change all of our lives and require hard work and sacrifice. And you all jumped on board, and we did it together. I am forever grateful for your love and support. And Will, to say thank you to you is never enough. You are always there, grounding me and encouraging me to move forward and be everything I can be. I would not be here tonight without you. Thank you. Finally, I have much to learn as a first-time counselor. I look forward to learning from my fellow counselors, both new and returning. And former counselor Jeff Henry, you may be receiving some emails. I'm just letting you know. I am also excited to learn from city staff who have such deep experience through many councils, and also from my constituents. You are the reason I'm here, and I look forward to learning from you and representing you with fairness, honesty, and respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rowe. And last but certainly not least, number 7 on the program, but maybe also number 1 in our hearts. Uptown Ward Councillor, new Councillor Julie Wright.
Thank you very much, Mayor McCabe. I get to have the last word almost, I think. First of all, I'm so honored to be sitting on this council with the 7 of you serving the broader Waterloo community. I'm honored that the residents of Ward 7 chose me to represent them and gave me a seat here among you. I owe my neighbors in Uptown North, some of them are here tonight, as well as some former neighbors from Uptown North, for sharing so many of their concerns with me over the last 12 years. You tipped me over, along with a big nudge from Tennille Bonagor, to fully engage in municipal issues. And I'm grateful that my family, friends, and community supported my campaign by giving me their time, their advice, and their financial support. I want to thank Sophie Wilson, Kate Glasson, Charlene Leduc, and my husband, Jonathan Baltrasitis, for being the engine of my campaign. Right to the end, when I had to self-isolate with COVID. Thank you to my children who are in the back row back there for encouraging me to do this and believing that I would actually be sitting in this chair tonight. You delivered signs, you piped for me, you wore my campaign t-shirts and convinced your friends to. You starred in my campaign videos, and you even voted for me in your school elections. You are the reason why I'm committed to building a better future for all of us. And thank you to my parents-in-law who supported me in the way that my parents might have. They would have enjoyed being here tonight with you. And I really appreciate that you've come to celebrate this moment. And I also want to thank the returning council members and the city staff for such a warm welcome to this new role. And I look forward to your continuing guidance and generosity. I just want to take a step back for a moment and think about where I came from. I grew up next to the Grand River on the traditional territory of the Attawandaron, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. My family farmed a tract of land along the river for 100 years, and I can trace a direct line from my current privilege to that land ownership. The privilege that comes with being rooted here also comes with obligation. Historically, this territory has been governed by the Dish with One Spoon Treaty, which bound the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and others to share the territory and protect the land. I've been thinking about what that means in the context of this new role on council. What does it mean to take only what you need, leave enough for others, and keep the bowl clean? These are core sustainability and governance principles. They require us to think beyond today and to imagine the well-being of others in the years ahead. I sit here tonight in these council chambers with a sense of obligation and responsibility. You wouldn't be able to tell, but I'm excited. I'm excited for a future that we will chart together over the term ahead, building on the successes of the previous council term and the incredible, difficult set of challenges they faced along with staff cannot be understated. There is uncertainty ahead. We need each other and a collective spirit to chart the path forward. And because of that, I am grateful that we are on this journey together. Thanks.
Thank you very much to each and every one of you for sharing your thoughts and words. And obviously you've thought very deeply about the role we're all serving in and what it's meant to your families and to you personally. And it made me realize that I did not give a thank you to my campaign team. So many of whom are here tonight. I chose you over you're my friends, but I chose you over like long-term friends because of how much you did for me over the past several months. So thank you very much. So the next on the agenda is my mom is going to read it's a poem recitation of called For a Leader by Irish author John O'Donoghue that I think shares some words that mean a lot to me, but I hope have meaning for you as well. So thank you, Mom.
This poem was written by John O'Donoghue. It contains helpful suggestions for Dorothy to follow. May you have the grace and wisdom to act kindly, learning to distinguish between what is personal and what is not. May you be hospitable to criticism. May you never put yourself at the center of things. May you act not from arrogance, but out of service. May you work on yourself, building up and refining the ways of your mind. May those who work for you know you see and respect them. May you learn to cultivate the art of presence in order to engage with those who meet you. When someone fails or disappoints you, may the graciousness with which you engage be their stairway to renewal and refinement. May you treasure the gifts of your mind through reading and creative thinking, so that you continue as a servant of the frontier, where the new will draw its enrichment from the old, and you never become a functionary. May you know the wisdom of deep listening, the healing of wholesome words, the encouragement of the appreciative gaze, the decorum of held dignity, the springtime edge of the bleak question. May you have a mind that loves frontiers, so you can invoke the bright fields that lie beyond the view of the regular eye. May you have good friends to mirror your blind spots. May leadership be for you a true adventure of growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you very much, Mom. So next on the agenda is Julian Noonan, who will sing "O Canada." Thank you, Jillian, for being with us tonight. So I'd ask those who can to stand to please do so.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And with that, I will ask someone to please make a motion to close the inaugural meeting of the first term of the Waterloo. Oh, everyone in the, not the people in the audience, just City Council. So moved by Councillor Freeman and seconded by Councillor Hanmer. Do I get to use this? We are adjourned. There is thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I'd like to invite everyone to our atrium downstairs for some fellowship and music and some food and some celebration. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you downstairs.